Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We are going to read a story from Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood called Look for the Helpers. When I was a child, I used to watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Fred Rogers was such a wonderful influence on children. This is his advice. When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." To this day, especially in times of disaster, I remember my mother's words, and I am always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in this world. Mr. Rogers. Daniel Tiger was with Dad Tiger when he saw dark clouds filling the sky. "There is a big storm coming to the neighborhood," Daniel said. "That's right," Dad said. "Our friends are coming to our house so they have a safe place to stay during the storm. It's part of our safety plan." Soon the sky became even darker. The rain went whoosh, and the loud thunder went boom. "I don't like storms," Daniel said. Daniel felt worried. Mom and Dad told Daniel, "Grown-ups are here to keep you safe." Then they sang, "Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe." That made Daniel feel a little better. He wanted to know more about the plan. "The first part of our plan," Dad said, "is to find a safe place inside." Daniel felt much better now. His home was a safe place, so they went inside. Katerina Kitty Cat, O the Owl, and their families needed a safe place for the storm too. They came to Daniel's house for a family sleepover. Daniel wished it was sunny so they could play outside. "Do you want to make believe with me?" Daniel asked his friends. "Let's make believe that we're playing outside in all kinds of weather. So many seasons, so many ways to play. In the springtime, there are raindrops and puddles to splash in. In the fall, I can play all around in the leaves. In the winter, build a snowman and make a snow angel. Swim in the sunshine, enjoy the summer heat." "What's the next part of our safety plan?" Daniel asked. Mom said the next step was to make sure they had an emergency supply kit. Daniel found a flashlight, a first aid kit, and water. Then all of a sudden the lights went out. "Who turned off the lights?" Daniel asked. "Sometimes a big storm can make the lights go out," Dad said. "But we're right here and you are safe." Daniel sang, "Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe." Even though the lights went out, Daniel and his friends still had dinner. Dad lit candles and made sandwiches for a terrific inside picnic. Soon it was time for bed. Katerina and O slept in sleeping bags in Daniel's bedroom. "I like having everyone around," Daniel said. "It makes me feel safe." Having a safe place to sleep was the last part of the emergency plan. In the morning, the rain stopped. The storm was over. Daniel looked out the window and saw tree branches and leaves on the ground. The storm had made a big mess. Dad Tiger said, "When I was young and I would see scary things, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.'" Later that day, it was safe for Katerina Kitty Cat, O the Owl, and their families to go back to their tree house. When Trolley had to stop in the road because of branches on the ground, Daniel was scared. Then he looked for the helpers. "Look for the helpers. Who do you see?" Daniel saw Mr. McFeely. He was helping pick up branches. "Thank you for helping, Mr. McFeely," Daniel said. The Tiger family went all around the neighborhood to make sure their other neighbors were safe too. Look for the helpers. Who do you see at the castle? Prince Wednesday and his family were helping by cleaning up. Look for the helpers. Who do you see at the museum go round? Miss Elena and her mum were helping clean up the neighborhood, too. When Trolley reached the clock factory, Daniel and his family saw that a big tree had fallen down in front of it. Daniel was scared. Then he remembered the song he sang. Take a grown-up's hand, follow the plan, and you'll be safe. He reached for his dad's hand. Then he looked for the helpers. Look for the helpers. Who do you see? Daniel saw firefighters were helping move the tree. Even Trolley was a helper. Trolley pulled the tree away from the clock factory. Daniel was a helper too. He planted a new tree to help everyone remember how they helped the neighborhood after the big storm. The big storm was a little scary, but Daniel felt better when he looked for the helpers. There were a lot of helpers, Ugga-Mugga. Do you want to learn more about staying safe and about looking for helpers? Read on for some helpful advice from Daniel Tiger and friends. Staying safe every day. Even when there isn't an emergency, you can stay safe every day by wearing a seatbelt, staying with a trusted grown-up, wearing a helmet, and more. Can you think of other things you can do to stay safe? Staying safe in an emergency. Emergencies can be scary because they sometimes happen very suddenly, but there are things you can do before, during, and after an emergency to stay safe. Turn the page to learn more. Before an emergency, make a safety plan. Find a safe place to stay inside. This might be your home, or it might be a friend's or a relative's house. If the power goes out, you will need food on hand that doesn't need to be refrigerated to stay fresh, and you need to have lots of bottled water to drink. Whenever possible, try to stick to a routine. For example, once you're in a safe place, try to go to bed at the same time as usual. Make an emergency supply kit that includes warm blankets, extra clothing, sturdy shoes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, flashlights with extra batteries, a hand crank radio, a first aid kit with bandages, antibiotic ointment, and also consider books and games to help pass the time, or your favorite stuffed animal or toy. It can be comforting. During an emergency, here are some things you can do if you get worried during an emergency. Take a deep breath. Listen, watch, and follow instructions. Hold on to a grown-up's hand. It's important to stay with a helper who will keep you safe. After an emergency, things might not be the way they used to be. It can take some time to get used to these changes. Here are some ways you can start to feel better. Use your words to describe how you are feeling. Are you scared, sad, angry, or lonely? You can also draw a picture that shows how you are feeling. If you are confused, ask questions. A grown-up will help you. Understand what happened during the emergency. Keep a routine like brushing your teeth after breakfast or singing a song before bed. Even if many things feel different, some things can stay the same. Another thing you can do after an emergency is to look for the helpers. Every day there are grown-ups who help keep you safe. Here are some people who can help with an emergency. Your parents or caregivers. They can help keep you safe at home. Doctors or nurses. They can help you if you are hurt. Firefighters. They can help put out fires and help clear dangerous objects from roads. Teachers. They can help keep you safe when you are at school. This is a great book for kids. Our world has seen some pretty scary stuff like floods, tornadoes, and fires. Let's all do our part to take care of the earth. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. We have a very special day today. Tiny Treasures is going to read our story, Peppa's First Pet. What kind of pet do you think she's going to get? Here's one of our special pets, Kitty. And as you know, Tiny fans, we have fish and a dog that you can see in some of our other videos. We'd like to know what pets you have, Tiny fans. Comment below and let us know. Let's get our story started.
Splish, splash, splosh. This is Goldie the fish. Goldie is very special. She is Peppa's first pet. Mommy and Daddy Pig helped Peppa choose her from the pet shop a few weeks ago. Today, when Mommy Pig feeds Goldie, Peppa notices that Goldie doesn't look happy. "Mommy, Goldie isn't eating her food," cries Peppa. "Oh dear," says Mommy Pig. "Maybe she's not feeling very well. Let's call Dr. Hamster, the vet." Dr. Hamster says that they should bring Goldie to see her right away. "Let's take the bus," says Mommy Pig. "Beep, beep. Oh, look, here it is." "Hooray!" shout Peppa and George. "One Mummy Piglet and 2 little piggies, please, Miss Rabbit," snorts Mommy Pig. "And 1 fish, please," Peppa giggles. Miss Rabbit stops to pick up Mr. Bull. He is taking his tuba to the music shop to get it fixed. "Hello, your fish doesn't look very happy. Should I play her a tune?" Brrrp. What a funny noise. Next, Madame Gazelle and her friends get on the bus. "Hello, Peppa. Oh no, is your fish sick? Let's sing a song to cheer her up." The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. At the vet, when Mommy Pig puts food in Goldie's bowl, Goldie grins and eats it all. Maybe Goldie was bored at home. The fun bus journey must have cheered her up, Dr. Hamster laughs. "You have a very healthy, happy little fish." Peppa is very happy. "Mummy, it must have been the music and singing that made Goldie better," she giggles. And everyone on the bus home sings. The fish in the bowl swims round and round, round and round, round and round. The fish in the bowl swims round and round, all through the town. The end.
Great reading, Tiny Treasures. And did you see how Kitty helped us turn the pages with her nose? Silly Kitty. Thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. It's story time, and I have a very special pop-up book, Paddington in London. And there he is, eating a marmalade sandwich. I absolutely love pop-up books, and this one is a very high-quality collector's edition with little accents of gold. As we open up the book, you'll notice there are pictures of very special places in London. Buckingham Palace, Houses of Parliament, and Tower Bridge. Paddington felt very at home in London with his new family, the Browns. He could have marmalade sandwiches any time he liked. There was just one thing missing. "I do wish Aunt Lucy could come and visit from darkest Peru," sighed Paddington. "I know she would love London just as much as I do." Then one day Paddington's friend Mr. Grubber showed him a wonderful old pop-up book all about London in times gone by. "What a perfect present for Aunt Lucy's 100th birthday," Paddington said. "If she saw this, it would be as though she were finally here." Carefully, he opened the first page. And Paddington found himself inside the book. "Look!" cried Paddington in delight. "There's Tower Bridge. It's just like the real thing." Paddington called a familiar voice. "Aunt Lucy? Oh, Aunt Lucy, you're really here. Come with me. I have so much to show you." This is Piccadilly Circus. What do you think? "Oh, it's wonderful," sighed Aunt Lucy. "All aboard for St. Paul's," called the conductor. "1½ bears, please," said Paddington politely. "And this is St. Paul's Cathedral. Isn't it splendid?" said Paddington. "It's marvelous, Paddington. Oh, I think that pigeon is looking at your marmalade sandwich." Aunt Lucy smiled. "We've reached the House of Parliament, Aunt Lucy. I'm afraid this is the last stop on our tour." "Oh, Paddington, you've made an old bear so very happy. London is just as wonderful as I ever dreamed. If only I didn't have to say goodbye." "Perhaps you don't have to. Come with me." And as Paddington took Aunt Lucy's hand, the two bears found themselves transported to number 32 Windsor Gardens, Paddington's favorite place in all of London and his home. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today is story time, and we're going to read a book with Kitty. It's a Paw Patrol book. It's called Gold Rush Pups, and it has sparkling glitter inside, just like the cover. It feels a little bit rough because it's real glitter glued onto the pages. One sunny day, Rubble was digging for gold with Chickaletta, Mare Goodway, and her Uncle Otis. Unfortunately, Uncle Otis's prospecting tools were really old. His shovel broke, and the bottom fell out of his gold straining pan. Uncle Otis needed help, and Rubble and the mare knew just who to call. The Paw Patrol. Ryder, Chase, and Rocky rode to the rescue. Rocky had the perfect recycled tools, a used shovel for Uncle Otis, and some old strainers so everyone could pan for gold. They all went to work beside the river. Suddenly, Chickaletta found a shiny rock. It was gold! Chase and Ryder found some too. Soon they had a big pile of glittering gold. Since Chickaletta had found the first gold nugget, Mare Goodway wanted to build a big golden statue of her feathery friend. "Good idea," said Ryder. "Come on, pups. The more gold we find, the bigger the statue." Not far away, Mayor Humdinger from Foggy Bottom was watching the pups and their friends. "That gold is mine because, I want it." He planned to make a golden statue of himself, so he radioed his catastrophe crew. "Kittens, it's catastrophe time." Mayor Humdinger joined Ryder and the pup prospectors. When no one was looking, the mean mare snuck something into his strainer. "What's this?" he said. "A diamond?" Everyone was amazed by the mare's discovery. While the others studied the diamond, the catastrophe crew loaded the gold on to the little truck. Uncle Otis peered closely at the mare's find. "This is no diamond," he said. "It's just a rock candy." The friends turned around just in time to see Mayor Humdinger getting away with the gold. The Paw Patrol was on the roll. "Chase, we need your drone," Ryder exclaimed. A drone fell out of Chase's truck. It zoomed into the air and tracked Mayor Humdinger and his kittens. The mayor and his crew raced to their mountain hideout. "Home sweet home, kitties," he announced. "Don't forget the gold." They all ran into their secret cave, but no one brought the gold inside. Chase's drone led Ryder and the pups right to Mayor Humdinger's hideout and the stolen gold. "Rocky, unhook the wagon," Ryder said. "You got it," exclaimed Rocky. Ryder had a plan to stop the sneaky kittens from chasing after the gold. "Let it go, Rubble," he shouted. Rubble pushed a big boulder in front of the hideout's entrance, temporarily trapping Mayor Humdinger and the catastrophe crew. "No!" Mayor Humdinger cried as Ryder and the pups rode away with the gold. "I deserve to be a statue." A few days later in Adventure Bay, Mayor Goodway unveiled a giant golden statue of Chickaletta. Ryder, Uncle Otis, and all the pups cheered when the little chicken perched on top. "She loves it," Mayor Goodway exclaimed, and everyone cheered for Chickaletta. And at the end of our story, there's a huge Paw Patrol poster. It looks just like the cover. It says, "Go for the gold," which means be successful in whatever you do, whether it's at school or at home. And here's the cover. Do you see the difference between the cover and the poster? Here's our Paw Patrol crew, and they have their real gold. Do you remember where we got these gold flakes? It was on our Alaska Disney cruise trip. And thank you so much for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today we're going to put the Teletubbies to bed. We have a soft silky cover with rainbow hearts, a green and white checkered pillow with frills, and a soft little Care Bear pillow. How many Care Bears are there?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 Care Bears. Now let's get the Teletubbies. Who do we have?
Lala.
And Lala is going to sleep on the Care Bear pillow. We have one more Teletubby to join Lala. Who is it?
It's Poe.
We're going to read a bedtime story to Poe and Lala. It's a fun little book called 10 Little Teddy Bears Splashing in the Bath.
Ten little teddy bears are splashing in the bath. One starts chasing bubbles, and it makes the others laugh. Nine little teddy bears pick night clothes out to wear. Then one finds a tutu and starts twirling through the air. 8 little teddy bears pour milk into their cups. Then one spills it on the floor and has to clean it up. 7 little teddy bears put all their toys away, but one decides it's much more fun to keep them out and play. 6 little teddy bears brush their teeth with care. But one uses his toothpaste to draw pictures everywhere.
Uh-oh, that's going to be messy.
Five little teddy bears love reading storybooks. One can't find her favorite, so she sneaks away to look. 4 little teddy bears are climbing up the stairs. One prefers to slide back down and leaves them unawares. 3 little teddy bears are tucked up in their room, but one bear finds it boring, so he starts to play a tune. 2 little teddy bears turn off the bedroom light. One decides to go outside and tell the moon good night. 1 little teddy bear is tucked up all alone. He's feeling very tired, but he can't sleep on his own. 10 little teddy bears should really be in bed, but think of all the lovely things that bears could do instead.
What a fun little book. Po and Lala are almost asleep. Now let's learn some colors with the squishy teddy bears.
Pink, gray, purple, brown, yellow, red, light green, orange, turquoise, and dark green.
Someone else is falling asleep behind Po and Lala. Hi, kitty. Are you going to hop into bed too? Ooh, she says it looks so comfy. Maybe I'll join them. I don't know if there's room, kitty. And thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today Peppa's on the little pink couch. We're going to read a story to Peppa Pig. But first, she needs something. It's Teddy, her nice soft stuffy. You can cuddle with Teddy while we read you the story. We're going to read Peppa Pig Bedtime for Peppa. So if you're going to bed, this is the perfect story before bedtime.
One evening, Peppa and George are finishing their dinner. It is almost bedtime, but the little piggies are not sleepy. Can we play outside for just a teeny bit? Peppa asks. All right, says Daddy Pig, but you must come in when we all call you for your bath. Peppa and George go outside to play one last game before bedtime. Look, George, cries Peppa. Lots of muddy puddles. Hee, splish, hee, splosh. Peppa and George like jumping up and down in muddy puddles. Peppa, George, calls Daddy Pig. Bath time. Peppa and George run home in their muddy boots. Squish, squash. We found the biggest muddy puddle in the world, cries Peppa. Are you and George feeling sleepy? Asks Daddy Pig. No, Daddy, says Peppa. We are not even a tiny bit sleepy. Before bedtime, Peppa and George take their bath. Peppa likes splashing. George likes splashing too. Splish, splash, pop. Ho, ho, that's enough splashing, says Daddy Pig. Let's get you into your pajamas. Oh, can't we stay in the bath a little bit longer? Peppa asked. Bath time is over, says Daddy Pig. Before going to bed, Peppa and George brush their teeth.
Brush, brush, brush. Okay, that's enough brushing, says Mummy Pig. Oh, but I think our teeth need a little bit more cleaning, says Peppa. Snort. When you're in bed, Daddy Pig will read you a story, Mummy tells them. Peppa and George like stories. They hurry into their beds. When Peppa goes to bed, she always has her teddy tucked in with her. When George goes to bed, he always has Mr. Dinosaur tucked in with him. Are you feeling sleepy now? Daddy Pig asks. No, Daddy, Peppa says. We need lots and lots of stories. Daddy will read you one story, says Mummy Pig. Which story would you like? The Red Monkey Book, please, says Peppa. Peppa and George like the Red Monkey Book. So Daddy Pig reads them the story of the Red Monkey. Once upon a time there was a red monkey. He had all sorts of adventures. After every adventure, this red monkey would take a bath, brush his teeth, and go to sleep. When Daddy Pig finishes the story, Peppa and George are fast asleep. Good night, Peppa. Sweet dreams.
Peppa loves to sleep with Teddy at night. And in our house, Tiny Treasures and Tiny Treasures Mini each have a stuffy that they sleep with. Peppa, come with us and we'll show you their stuffed animals. Tiny Treasures Mini sleeps with this cute little monkey. And up here on the top bunk, Tiny Treasures sleeps with this cute little kitty. This kitty's getting a little dirty, but we'll have to give it a wash. It's time for Peppa to go to sleep in her bunk bed. And thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to Tiny Treasures. Today the Teletubbies and I are telling you the tale of Peter Rabbit. Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and Peter lived underneath the root of a very big fir tree. Their mother, Mrs. Rabbit, was going out. Don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden, she said. But naughty Peter ran to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. First he ate some lettuces and French beans. Then he ate some radishes. Mr. McGregor saw Peter. He chased him around the garden, calling, "Stop, thief!" Poor Peter ran into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. Peter wriggled away, but he left his jacket behind. Then he hid in a watering can. Presently, Peter sneezed. Ka-shoo! Mr. McGregor was after him in no time. Poor Peter was lost. He saw a white cat with a twitching tail and crept past her. Suddenly, he heard the scratch-scratch noise of a hoe. There was Mr. McGregor, and beyond him was the gate. Peter ran as fast as he could, slipped under the gate, and was safe at last. His mother put him to bed with a dose of chamomile tea, but his sisters had bread and milk and blackberries for supper. Thank you for coming to Tiny Treasures. Please subscribe to our videos. Goodbye.